friends. It is night one of the 12 days. It's the first night of the 12 days of Mamma Mia's. I've got Dan here with me tonight. My friend that I know that likes musicals the most out of all of my friends, I would say. Probably.
Apparently, I've definitely watched them the most.
Sometimes you watch them, but it's just the same one over and over again.
That's right. Only the good or very bad ones.
Because you were talking to me when I asked you to do this, you said that you had seen the sequel something like 50 times? What was that? I forget. A lot of times.
I have seen Mamma Mia 2. Hold on, let me check my stats right this second. I will be able to have a definitive number of times I've seen Mamma Mia 2. And that amount of times, if it will load in time. It's loading.
Oh.
Come on. I've seen it less than Cats, but I have seen it, if I have my eyes correct, I've seen it 13 times.
Wow.
Yep. 13 times. And Mamma Mia 1, I've only seen 4 times.
Wow. Is it that much better? It's 3 times
Mamma Mia 2 is a technical marvel. It should not be as good as it is. It has fantastic director, fantastic choreography, and I am actually not a fan of the first Mamma Mia.
Oh.
Like, I walked out of there's like a credits sequence at the end where they all dance around or whatever. I just left. I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want this anymore. And that was in theaters because I love ABBA. I didn't want to hear them sing. I can talk more of this when you watch it, but I have a very complicated relationship with Mamma Mia 1 that the only reason I come back to it is because I love Mamma Mia 2 that much that I will let me try it again. Maybe I'm wrong about it. Let's give it a go. It's increased. It's increased every time I've rewatched it since then. So
yeah, it's a movie with layers. You discover more every time you watch it. Just like in our background right now, I'm seeing the face of this woman right above your head who's making a terrific face.
Oh yeah, right up there. Yeah.
Something I didn't notice until right now.
You know what? Actually, this image from above, that is from Mamma Mia 2.
Oh no, that's wondering why.
I'm 100% sorry because you can tell by Julie Walters' hair. It's white in this one. You can tell because Pierce Brosnan is with Amanda Seyfried. They already have that closeness. That's the scene where all the boats come in.
I picked this wallpaper before I had seen the movie, so I didn't know. I was expecting to see this at some point, and I just got.
So wait, have you seen Mamma Mia 1?
I just watched it. I think I didn't explain this properly when I was talking to you about what we're doing tonight. We're just talking about it tonight.
We're not watching. I was ready to queue it up. I was like, all right, let's go. I mean, it is fresh in my mind. I did watch it in July this year, so it's fresh.
I think I'm going to try watching the other ones live on stream, but this one, it's tough to do it right off of Peacock.
That's true. It is a very long one, and it's not easy to watch along because right now it's on only the Peacock Premium and then the Hulu Live TV. It's like who has I have Peacock. I don't even know why I have Peacock, but who expects people to have all those?
I got it for free with my phone plan or something for 6 months because I have it, but I don't think I'm paying for it. So,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
This movie. Enjoyed it. I liked it.
So this is your first time?
My first time watching it. I think after watching Cats, I'm just more open-minded about watching musicals now. Where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to watch this and try to enjoy it for what it is. Because if I try to watch it as a movie, it doesn't really work as well. But try to watch it as a
well, I agree with you there. This is a shitty movie. It's a fun musical. I think okay, so I have some things. I have a theory as to why, and this isn't just a theory. This is pretty much corroborated. The reason why this movie feels fun is because everyone is clearly having fun making it.
Yeah.
There is no one here who is there for a paycheck. Absolutely no one is there phoning it in. Even if they can't do it, they're trying.
Right. Yeah.
And
Pierce Brosnan is trying this thing.
And I think to make it easier for them, this is actually an unintended consequence, but they decided a very unusual choice when filming a big production like this, which, by the way, Tom Hanks
no
and Rita Wilson.
style.
Shout out to Playtone for producing this movie. Thank you, Tom Hanks. They decided to opt for local catering instead of traditional craft services.
Huh.
And in Greece, the catering company also supplied alcohol,
Right.
which is a little bit.
It's very Greek.
It's very Greek, and they were clearly drunk. You can tell from the movie. You just watched it. Can you agree with me here that most of the people in this movie seem drunk or inebriated or at least contact high?
Yeah, there's something going on. They're definitely having a good time. It's hard not to when you're just hanging out in a beautiful Greek island all day, just drinking.
Right. Again, like everyone wants to be. There's no green screen nonsense. They're all having fun in Greece on vacation, on working vacation with each other.
Even like the dance numbers and stuff, the choreography isn't like crazy. It looks fun.
It is and it isn't.
Right.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can we find an agreement right now?
Okay.
About the best moment of that movie? And would you agree?
Yeah.
It's that scene on the beach. Amanda Seyfried and Dominic Cooper, who cannot sing. You know what I'm leading to.
Yeah, it's the best part.
And they're singing on their own. Don't go wasting your emo. What's the name of the song?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I knew more about the song.
Anyway, point is, they're singing the thing all of a sudden out of the ocean, out of the blue, out of nowhere. I would hazard to say 20 adult men coming out of the ocean. And just taking over the scene and adding this breath of fresh air because one, these people are the ones who are the sober ones somehow. Two, they can actually dance. And three, the choreography is made with the camera in mind, which is not true for most of the film. What baffles me, and I don't know if you feel this way, is that the choreography seems like it's independent of the camera at all times.
Yeah, they're just doing it, and the camera's like there, but it's not.
Like, did they storyboard this? did they not rehearse this? I think it was a rehearsal. I think it was a lack of rehearsal. That would explain so much of this. Like, it's like, you know the dance. It's like a dance audition. Like, you know the dance. Let's just do it. It's not going to be as good as you do it like a bunch of times. I don't know. I have a lot of qualms with this film, and choreography is number one.
I just always feel like people are having fun, even if it's not spot on, real tight choreography.
It feels like that it becomes more like a karaoke party than it would a cabaret.
Yeah, I think it's kind of you get that wedding weekend feel. Like, everybody's just chilling and having fun, and we got this one kind of ceremonial thing we got to do, but everything else is loosey-goosey.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm gonna go completely off tangent here. This is completely left field. So the movie I just watched the film that came out this year. Limited screening thing just happened. It's called After Sun, and it's actually highly relevant to Mamma Mia in ways I didn't really expect it to.
Yeah.
So the plot of the film is that you're basically in the memories of this person on her last vacation she had with her dad when she was 11 in Turkey. So Mediterranean Sea, you know, this is sort of, and I realize now like why Mamma Mia is so treasured to people, because it evokes that vacation feeling, which I hadn't connected to it before. Before I was like, I love ABBA. Why are you shitting on ABBA's face right now and calling it art? Why'd I pay money to see people sing ABBA badly? Besides Amanda Seyfried, I think Amanda Seyfried might be the best singer in the film.
Yeah, I think so.
Meryl Streep is amazing too, but I think that Amanda Seyfried, perfect. No notes.
Yeah, it really is when she starts singing. It's a spectrum from Amanda Seyfried to Pierce Brosnan. That's what I want to say.
And I actually,
the spectrum.
No, I think Dominic Cooper's worse than Pierce Brosnan.
I guess he just doesn't get as much like solo time.
He doesn't have to carry as much. Versus Pierce, they gave him the song. They're like, okay, we're not just giving you a song. We're giving you a feature. We're not even just giving you a feature. We're going to give you a prize. You don't have to do this. We can cut this. It's a movie. I don't know if you heard about this. It's called a movie. You can make changes after the fact if it isn't working. Versus Dominic, he was given like this much. He did nothing with it. He was just like, I'm going to be hot. And that's my whole thing. And like, I feel like he gets away with it because he is hot versus Pierce, where the age becomes a factor because he's not as attractive as he used to be, as much as he is a silver fox.
Right.
I think that if it was young Pierce Brosnan singing exactly as well as old Pierce Brosnan did, we would forgive it. We'd be like, yeah, whatever.
I can see that. Yeah.
But because he's like visibly trying too hard, we're like, oh, what's going on here? Yeah.
Reminding us how old he is. Yeah.
I warmed up to it. So you're gonna watch 12 days of this?
Yeah, right. 12 days. Mostly high school productions because I guess this is very popular for high schools.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's got a very young cast for most of the parts, right? Even though all the interesting stuff is adults. Maybe that's just
yeah. You know,
there's a Brazilian one, a French one.
I have never seen Mamma Mia live, I should say. I've only seen the film and the sequel many times. Yeah, so I do wonder how it does work on. I imagine it works a lot better because again, jukebox musicals are better when you aren't trying to pay attention to the plot.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot more.
The plot is whatever. Yeah.
Right.
But this actually has a good plot.
Yeah.
Like they actually made a really good plot out of this thing. Oh God, there is one thing you're gonna hate. There's one thing you're gonna hate. You're gonna notice it, and you're not gonna unnotice it. It's the one flaw that I think the sequel has is that they kind of retcon the ways in which Meryl Streep's character Donna met the men, right? In the Flower Power song in this movie, which I think is the weakest link in terms of a whole song. I don't know how you feel about it. What is it? Our Last Summer. Yeah, it's Our Last Summer, which is an amazing song, but I just think like it's too stereotypy. That when they made the sequel, they're like, well, we can't do that. We can't do it exactly as it was. It'd be so cheesy. Yeah. So completely through all the lore you learn in Our Last Summer is basically turned into we're making shit up.
No.
So there's no train.
Right. No.
Bill isn't some big hippie. He's a self-admitted fuckboy on a boat.
No. How many of those hippies are really just a fuckboy?
Yeah, I mean, how many hippies are people just trying to get laid? You know, you never know if someone's a poser or not. But I do find that very interesting. In terms of, because you're gonna notice that because you're gonna listen, you're gonna hear this and watch this much. So I'm gonna give you a heads up.
It's gonna be embedded in my head.
It's gonna be inspired by. It's not, yeah. So
the sequel, they made the movie. That was just like an original thing. There's not like a sequel.
Yes. Yeah, a very rare, exceedingly rare situation where they made a screen adaptation of a stage musical and then made a sequel to the musical just on film.
Story.
Incredible. And 10 years later, no less, with the exact same cast. Everyone came back except for Sophie's Bridesmaids. They never resurfaced.
Okay.
But I feel like they're kind of like pushed off to the side in this movie too, right?
Right. Yeah, they're just there in the beginning. I don't even barely see them.
They're just there. I guess they're meant to foil like the Donna's two best friends or whatever.
But they just kind of disappear.
But it's like, okay. It's like, okay, we don't remember you at all. Besides one with blue eyes, you're really pretty, but like that's pretty much it.
Wow, she's got
piercing. I think because she has the black hair. When you have black hair and blue eyes, it's especially like jarring. Because Amanda Seyfried has blue eyes with blonde hair, but it isn't quite as.
Yeah, but contrast isn't there.
Yeah,
it's a real life thing. You know, 10 years after you get married, or you're supposed to get married. You know, how much time are you spending with your bridal party?
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, that is extremely valid. How many of our bridesmaids are lasting relationships that don't have their own lives to worry about, their own families at a certain point, are just college buddies? But hold up in a second. What jarred me on my recent watches of Mamma Mia as an adult is how young Sophie is when she gets married.
Yeah, it's 20,
like she
21.
Yeah, she can't drink legally in the United States yet.
Well, she grew up in Greece. She's been drinking legally probably her whole
life. But the point stands. Yeah. Can you imagine getting married at 20 years old?
Her mom's got a good point. Trying to keep her from getting married. Yeah.
Like, no wonder she makes the choice to bring her 3 dads back. She has her frontal lobe isn't done yet. Like, no wonder. Yeah.
That's a very important. Your parents still play a very big role in your life when you're 20 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. You still need their money. You don't have full-time jobs yet. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
When she called up the wedding at the ceremony, and then Pierce Brosnan finally he proposes. He proposes to Meryl Streep. I was so happy. I did the 2 hands in the air, like, woo! There's going to be a wedding. So I was not expecting that to happen, and they did it. And I was like, they did it. I was so happy. It was physically.
Yeah, I am glad that the wedding doesn't go through, and that they do go through with the happiest ending possible.
Right. Yeah.
So this is your first time watching it. Your first time experiencing Mamma Mia. One, I gotta know, what is your experience with ABBA? Like, what is your history with ABBA? Do you have any favorite songs, et cetera, et cetera?
I mean, I just know like the hits, the stuff that gets played on the radio all the time is really all I really know.
Oh, so there are some new songs to you in this?
Yeah. So I really only know like Dancing Queen and Mamma Mia, and then like Waterloo. I didn't even.
Super Trooper, SOS.
I think I've heard bits and pieces of it, but it's like I didn't instantly recognize it. I wasn't singing along most of the time.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure how many of these songs were. These are all ABBA songs, right? They didn't write.
They are entirely ABBA songs, and they're all written by the same guy within the ABBA group.
Right.
Then you do know that ABBA don't have a Fleetwood Mac type situation, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I get them. I put them in the same bucket of having that kind of.
Yeah, where the duos got married. They didn't date each other, as far as we know.
Okay.
But they divorced and still toured and made music together.
Okay, that's what it was. Right.
Yeah.
That's got to be uncomfortable.
Well, they made it work, and they just did a reunion finally at it, whatever. And, yeah. What a time that was. And did you know, I have another fact for you about ABBA, that the 2 women in the band, because it's 2 men, 2 women, the 2 women were part of an effort. I don't remember the exact specifics, but they were part of a experiment in Sweden to have more Swedish children. It was a bit of an Aryan painted thing. But the reason why ABBA exists is because of a strange racist experiment.
Oh, weird.
Anyway, fun fact.
Yeah. I'll do more research on it throughout the 12 days. Mamma Mia-mas.
Yeah, well, you have stuff to think about. So today is this movie. Do you have it mapped out what day is which, or are you just kind of like going from a repertoire you have ready to go?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I talked to you about this last year, but there's a woman on who's got a YouTube account where she had the whole playlist of Cats, of all the different Cats things.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the only thing she does. She does it for every musical, at least all the big ones. Right. So Katie Lawrence on YouTube, she's got a 100.
Shout out to Katie.
Video long Mamma Mia playlist here.
How many?
137, but some of them are like 4 acts split into 4 videos, like 4 half hours.
Oh, okay. So but still, that's at least 30 different productions to choose from.
Yeah, it's mostly high schools, but there's a Russian one, there's a French one we'll be looking at, and tomorrow.
Okay, so you mainly going for variety there, where you're making sure you get all the different languages, and then like a couple of maybe the higher rate, like the more views for the high school ones. Like, how are you choosing between the?
I picked one because they were wearing masks, so it must have been in the last couple
of years. Oh, recent. Okay.
Another one, it said it says in the title, like the best. Mamma Mia, best performance ever. So that's
okay. So that's between now and Christmas, and then you do plan on watching Mamma Mia too, though, yes?
At some point, I figure out how we're gonna do it. I don't even know where it's got to be streaming. Probably the same place.
I have a way of posting it for us. No problem about it. I bought it on YouTube, so I can easily. Usually I have a Hyperbeam thing where you use like a shared screen experience. I'd be more than happy to host a Mamma Mia 2 watch for you for my 14th watch. And yeah, no, I'd be more than happy to host Mamma Mia 2.
Yeah. So you do own a copy. That's why you've been able to watch this one.
I own it on Blu-ray. I have it downloaded illegally. Maybe not, maybe so. I'm joking, FBI. And then I also bought it on YouTube. Like I bought it in so many places. The only reason I have downloaded is for convenience at this point.
Right. Yeah. It's just making a copy.
Like I've made it my Zoom background before is the whole movie playing. So awesome. I mean, just like I have with Cats.
Yeah. We got a copyright strike on us from YouTube last year when you did that. I didn't realize that YouTube was going to catch us in the background of a square of the video, but they did.
Wait. When I had a background for my Zoom background? Oh no, I got you struck. Oh no, that's funny. That's really funny. But as stupid as possible. Like there's not even music going on.
We weren't even watching it. It was just there. It wasn't like a bootleg stream or anything. But yeah,
that's funny.
So now I know not to stream on YouTube if we're going to be playing.
Now I know. I'm glad I didn't make it my background then when I started talking to you. You would have had a panic attack seeing the Universal logo come across. Oh man. Yeah, so Mamma Mia 1, very straightforward plot, pretty, convincing, very neat. The Does Your Mother Know number. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, which one? I mean,
that's the one with Christine Baranski, queen as she is, flirts with a a very young man. I would say uncomfortably young man.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Wait, the thing is, if you're a bartender at like an island hotel like that, like that's part of the
true.
Deal,
I will give you that. Yeah. I just think it's one of those things like, wait, hold on.
It's not like he was not into it at any point.
Right, but it's still like I feel like that would have been cuter in 2008.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas now it's a little bit more like, hold on a second. Yeah, because I get the whole the
diaper thing, but then even then it's like if you are gonna hook up with someone like twice your age, you kind of want them to treat you like a baby. I think that's part of it.
Yeah. I'm surprised how much I remember this movie. Would you like to hear my haiku review?
Yes.
So recently I watched in July. I did double feature with Mamma Mia 2, as you do.
Yeah.
So I actually have 2 haikus because I wrote a haiku back when I watched it in 2020 for another double feature with Mamma Mia 2.
You haven't written 14 haikus for Here We Go Again, have you? Okay.
Yes, actually I have.
Yes, that's awesome.
Let me double check the exact amount I do for Mamma Mia 2 because I think you would very much like to know how many I've written for that. So I've seen it 13 times. And let me see if I do any. Yep, and one time I do. Oh wow. Okay. All right. let me count right now because I triple up or quadruple up sometimes. All right. Wow. 1, 2, 3. That was the first time I watched it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That was in 1. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 haikus for Mamma Mia 2. So you got that to look forward to when it comes to that. But for Mamma Mia 1. I just have 2 haikus. When I watched it in 2020, I gave it 2.5 stars. And I said, is everyone drunk? Choreography's lazy. Messy drunk the film. I should note that was in the middle of me watching all the High School Musical movies. So my standard for choreography was pretty high at the time. Then I watched it again in 2022. I gave it 3.5 stars. Quite favorable, I think, of a change. A fun fever dream. All are clearly having fun. It's the wine drunk film.
Oh yeah, that's a good description.
Yeah. I watched it with a bunch of people actually.
Nice.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think it's definitely way more fun with a group. I feel like by yourself and sober, I feel like it's not as fun of an experience. Which I am sober now from alcohol, so I'll see how that goes when I try and revisit this Mamma Mia 2, which I've watched sober many times, but I do wonder how different it is that way.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a fun experiment.
I think it will be.
And I'm looking forward to the maybe a week from now when I've seen this so many times. I know all the words of the songs, and I'm just singing along and having a good time.
That's right. Well, unless it's in French, then you'll be struggling. Well,
Yeah.
I do wonder, because I know you watch Cats of different international versions. The lyrics, are the lyrics also translated?
I think Cats, most of them weren't. But
Interesting. I mean, it's already pretty like clandestine and nebulous and weird anyway with the English lyrics. I imagine it sounds more like it's written with that poetry in mind.
Right.
Right.
I feel like Rent had maybe more. I don't remember.
Oh, right, because you did Rent before that.
Yeah.
Because I do wonder, especially since it is ABBA specifically, there are translated versions of ABBA songs already.
Oh, right.
But I can't imagine the licensing would have been that easy to work for that, or that the translations would have been easy.
Right.
And yes, please donate to the blood bank, the food bank if you're watching this.
Yes, the blood bank. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to see, but I think the big thing is I don't look at those, but I think there were also high schools or something where you can get away with a lot more. I think just out of high school, you don't aren't playing. I don't know. Is that how high school musicals work? Do you have to pay licensing?
Oh, as a high school theater teacher who's trying to get licensing currently for a play, it's expensive.
Ooh.
There are a lot of licensing agreements. It's expensive. You got to do a lot of it's a pretty cheap or popular play to produce or musical to produce. Right. You have to go through some hoops, some bureaucratic loops to get it worked out. Because sometimes they reject it if you do not have the resources to make it, because the quality of the show is on the line if you do not do a good job. So there's an existing rapport. Yeah, but it's not as clean and clear as it should be. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'll say this now: if I am ever the owner of a musical, I will freely let high schools put on their own productions of that musical.
So speaking of translations, I do have, this is also a tangent, but I think you'll find it interesting. There is this song, I would say it's more well known as a song now, called Waters of March. Have you heard of this song?
No.
Okay, so I want to get the facts here right. It's a Brazilian song. It was composed in Portuguese originally. And when he wrote it in English, he made a very concerted effort to make sure that the root language. Hold on, let me get the exact things here. Yes, he avoided words with Latin roots, so that the words sound like harsh and like glottal stops and in the spirit of the Portuguese original, which I find very fascinating. Because like English, we borrow from so many, we don't like realize you can make an entire poem out of just one rooted language within English.
Yeah.
Like I stick a stone, it's the end of the road, like that kind of like, it has a certain cadence to it that just is funny. So I can't imagine, because like, well, again, it brings back to ABBA, because ABBA also translated it because the members were primarily, they learned all sorts of languages, but their main language was not English, from my understanding, from my knowledge. Benny, the guy who wrote the music, he was the real the most proficient English language speaker. And sometimes, from my knowledge, again, this could have been something I learned like years ago, and it's totally wrong. But from what I know, feel free to don't believe me if you want, is that sometimes he would phonetically give some of the lyrics to make sure that it was done correctly, or pronounced correctly, I should say.
He was writing the songs in English.
Yes. And he wrote the songs pretty much. It's just him. Like they were all sort of involved with the music side of things, but he was the songwriter. Yeah. And there's a movie called ABBA the Movie, which I've seen. Have you heard of ABBA the Movie?
No.
So look it up right now. Anyone who's watching, and also Dave, look up ABBA the Movie. It was randomly showing at Consolidated Award this past summer.
Oh.
Just randomly. I was like, why not? It came out in 1977.
Cool.
And it's a mockumentary where ABBA plays themselves.
Right. Cool.
It's a mix of concert documentary and this plot of this fake journalist, an actor playing a journalist, trying to get an interview with ABBA. He's like he's following them around the globe, trying to get him like sit down for an interview.
Right.
And it's this comedy of errors as he follows ABBA around. It's so bizarre. It is so bizarre. But it's interesting and very unique. And you do get, like, I would say you get a more cohesive idea of them as a group than you would for an actual documentary, because I feel like for an actual documentary they put up those walls and are sort of whatever. But when they're playing themselves to an extent, I feel like you get a better idea of who they want to be and like how the kind of collaboration that they have.
Yeah, it's what they think is cool.
Yeah, it's insightful in a very different way that we're not used to. Because how many bands, besides, I would say Spinal Tap is the closest example that I can think of right now, that is a mock band, have a mockumentary about themselves with their band name as the title of the movie, with the movie following it.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yes, yeah. I know the Foo Fighters made that movie. That wasn't.
Oh, that I would say that is a good example of it. Studio 666. It came out this year. Yeah. So okay, I take that back, but
still,
that's not a mockumentary though. That's a horror movie where
Right, they're just playing a version.
It's like this is the end, but yeah, that is interesting. All to say, this movie was at the time this came out in Europe. I got a fact for you. It was the highest grossing movie in Europe in history at the time it released.
I can see that. It's a very...
In Europe in particular, it did absolute gangbusters.
Not gangbangers.
No, absolutely not. That is the wrong visual example that I would like to supply for Mamma Mia the movie, which is a very innocent, fun movie.
Yeah.
If you were to rate this out of 5 stars, and I don't know your rating.
I have to soon when I put it on, when I log it on Letterboxd.
That's right. So what rating are you thinking? What are you feeling?
I don't know. I want to say starting from 4 stars and maybe going down to 3.5. Just because it was a good time.
That's pretty high. That's pretty high. I'd probably give it a.
Yeah, I don't know. I think about individual moments throughout the movie. I'm like, do I really like this number or not? And was the whole thing ADR too? That was something I wanted to ask about. It feels like it has this weird
lip synced.
Yeah, lip synced.
They definitely did not record
music, but
on set.
Even the dialogue, it felt like.
Yeah, they definitely did a lot of ADR to cover up a lot of the let's just do it in post kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that definitely is happening there.
It took a little getting into it, but
I think that you'll better appreciate how amazing the sequel is at sound mixing. It's not editing. Cool. They do a lot of really clever things with diegetic sounds in the environment and keying it into the non-diegetic.
Right.
And like sort of transitioning between them. Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah. Like there's a part where a character runs up the stairs, but runs up the stairs in a rhythm that's actually in rhythm with a song. Cool. And it's so subtle, like I didn't pick it up till like my rewatch. I was like, wait a second. I was like, this is genius. Yeah. It didn't feel stilted or forced or anything. It just like was like, no, that's the speed someone goes up the stairs. Like,
See, I don't trying to come up with a rating. I'm trying to think how much of it is about like the story versus like the movie itself. I think when I watch a few more versions of Mamma Mia, I'm gonna come back to this. Maybe what do they do, good or bad with it? It's beautiful looking. I really love how it looks pretty much all the time. Yeah.
I would say that's fair. And then and also Stellan Skarsgård's ass gets a special shout out.
We brought that up, I think, during one of the Thor movies. That Stellan Skarsgård is a man who, any chance he gets to do nudity in a movie, he takes it.
Oh, really? That's my first time seeing Stellan naked. I didn't know he did it before. It makes sense.
Yeah.
When you look at his sons, I'm like, oh, that's how hot he used to be. I get it.
Yeah. I think he just thinks it's funny too, just as an old man doing it. Because there's one of the Thor movies, he's just wandering around naked at some point for he gets brainwashed or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. And he also in Dune there was also a bit of a nudity going on. That's right, because he's the big lizard man in Dune. Cool. You've seen Dune, right? The new Dune?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh. Saw the first one, I think, right around when Dune.
Oh, the David Lynch one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird movie.
Yeah. Even fans of David Lynch were like, They're like, oh.
Just sticking way too much in there. That's all it is.
Yeah. Too many cooks, I think, in that situation. Yeah, because this one, I want again. Why am I talking about Dune when Mamma Mia is so much more interesting? But the Dune movie is only half of the stuff that's covered in the Dune movie in the '80s. So they're able to like really take their time and not rush into things and make a part 2 afterwards with bigger budget, the latter for both parts. So,
right. Yeah. And more time to tell a whole story each time.
Yeah. But Mamma Mia 1, which again, I'd like to remind us again that the background you have here is from Mamma Mia 2, and I hope you never change it. I hope you keep this background because it is exactly as it should be, acknowledging that Mamma Mia 2 is the best part of Mamma Mia.
Doing right now. Yeah.
And when you watch it on Boxing Day, you will agree with me.
We are going to do a live watch along of Rocky 4 on Boxing Day.
Oh, okay.
Boxing movie.
I have a Rocky shirt. I should have worn it today.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. That's when I saw you were wearing it.
But I think, honestly, I think you should decide to watch Mamma Mia 2 on Christmas Day.
Okay. Yeah, because we're done on Christmas Eve for the 12 days of Mamma Mia. So then.
And you're not including this in that, right?
Right.
Okay. I think this is my Christmas gift to you.
Okay.
Is that I think you should watch this. I think you would have a fantastic time.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's with the time difference. It's highly likely that my family will be to bed when I'll be in New Jersey at that time. Okay. But I think I'll be capable of hosting that. That'll be at 11:30 p.m. will be the time 6:30 is here. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're not Mamma Mia out and you want to give Mamma Mia 2 a try anytime, we'll schedule it, and I'm there for it. Because fuck Mamma Mia 1. I said it here first.
Wow. I didn't know you hated Mamma Mia 1.
The more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I really dislike it. I think it's lazy. It's fun. They're having fun. But it really is such a waste of immense talent that I think the second one really captures.
Yeah, so I think I'm still right in that way with the fun of the movie without really analyzing what I do or don't like about it.
True, and I think that you'll have a good time with it because it seems like there's so much opportunity to really infuse the characters with the actors' personalities.
Right.
More so than you would in Cats. Yeah. Right? Because there's scenes of dialogue, there are comedy bits, there's slapstick. There's solos and songs that you can sort of fudge with and have liberties with and really, make it your own. And the words are more sensical, so you're able to make sense of it more and make better, I would say, just fun choices, opportunities for fun choices all the way around.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see what kind of creative decisions people are making to bring this to life on stage.
Yeah. And I think the most interesting will be the Greek one.
Yeah. I want to see how they do it. And the other thing I had written down. Oh, 2 things I wrote down in my notes that I wrote down Chekhov's bagpipes, and I guess I had to mark that out because you see the bagpipes and you see he squeezes them a little bit, puts them away. Then you never see him again. Pierce Brosnan.
It's just a gag. It's just like here's a gag. Yeah, it is strange. I forgot about that.
I wanted those bagpipes back. And then the thing when on the boat with Colin Firth and Stellan Skarsgård talking, the day after they realize that they're all the dad. But they think they're all the dad, right? And he's like, "Oh, I learned this thing about myself that changes my whole life and everything." And we think that it's a thing about it's a misunderstanding that he's coming out to him, but actually he's talking about he found out that he's a father. But actually, we find out at the end, no, he really was coming out to him. It's like, wow,
yeah, that's a nice thing. Yeah, I think the way they handle the sexual identity of Colin Firth's character, which is what's his name?
Headbanger, Harry Headbanger.
Harry, yes, it's Harry, it's Bill, and
Sam. Yeah,
thank you. Yes, exactly. I can't believe I forgot their names.
Yeah.
The names are just so generic. It's easy. It's easy to forget.
The actors are so much the very iconic men.
I really like the way the sexuality is handled. Where it is a twist, but it's not a twist in the sense of, oh, I'm actually gay. I had no idea. It's like, no, I'm gay. I should be open with you guys now that you're family.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, this is part of me. I was like, okay, cool. Like there isn't like no dumb gay jokes. Yeah.
So it was fun.
So I have to ask you, how does this stack up to the other Greek wedding movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
That's another one I haven't seen. Do they do a lot of
Greek weddings?
We might do My Big Fat Greek Wedding this next year.
These are the only 2 Greek wedding franchises that are 2 film installments with the that came out where the first one came out in 2000s.
They came back 10 years later.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Glass Onion yet? You've seen Glass Onion,
right? Yes, I saw it twice.
Oh, okay.
Wait, the plot thickens.
Ooh.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding came out in 2002. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 came out in 2016.
Oh. Okay.
So both Mamma Mia and Big Fat Wedding were hits in the 2000s, and then at least 10 years later came out with the sequel. Anyway, what were you saying that I talked over? I had to share that tidbit.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's
Glass Onion.
That's the way that Grease works. So we're going to get a Glass Onion.
That's right.
The sequel in about 12 years.
Which, Glass Onion, fantastic. I saw it twice in theaters. It was so rewarding the second time. Also, another thing that isn't Grease exactly, but the season of White Lotus that just finished this past Sunday, it was in Italy, Sicily to be specific. And I would say it's Greek flavors. It's Mamma Mia flavors.
Right.
You know, I highly recommend season 2 of White Lotus, even if you weren't crazy about the first season, because I think the second season is a lot more deliberate, a lot more fun, a lot more clever, and a lot more surprising.
Yeah,
there's all the things you want.
I might be going to Italy this summer, so I need to go in some.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's a good opportunity to you should watch it before you go, because it's a bit of a cautionary tale.
Oh. But in Glass Onion, they have the pier where everyone shows up at the beginning, right, to go get on the boat and go to the.
Oh, you saw it?
I think it's the same pier. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the same pier that they have in this movie where Chris Brosnan and Colin Firth they're late and they miss the ferry. It looked very similar.
Oh, the one where they go off of, right, the one they go on to go to the island, right? Not the glass one by Banksy.
No. The one on the mainland.
The piece of shit. Yeah, that might be. It's not the same one in the sequel. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking maybe there's just like one that they use a lot, for filming and stuff.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to do the 12 Days of Greasemas next year, but when we don't watch the musical Grease, but just Grease related.
Well, I have to say, I've seen Grease 2 more than once.
Yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to seeing.
I like Grease 2.
Yeah.
You never seen Grease? So these are all movies. So the you're doing ones you haven't seen before.
Yeah, I've only seen a handful of musicals in my life because I'm not a big musicals guy, so it's been kind of
not yet. Because I don't think you've really dived in and give a chance and appreciated the art that is musical theater.
I think Cats really opened up something for me. I'm like, I think I can do this now.
If you can survive Cats and want more, I think that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Because most people, when they watch Cats, are like, okay, I'm good. That's it for me. But you enjoyed it enough.
It had to change the way my thinking and how I was interacting with these.
Well, you've seen Little Shop of Horrors, yes?
Right. Yeah.
And you've seen Chicago, yes?
No.
I think Chicago Mess.
Human flesh, I was not into it until a year ago.
Chicago Mess, which I gotta say, kind of works for Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's definitely wintry.
I think that would be a fantastic name because one, that musical won Best Picture.
Okay.
And it deserved it.
Right. Okay.
Secondly, I can't imagine how funny all the high school productions of this jailhouse sex crimes musical would turn out. Because I have seen clips. I don't even enjoy doing this much, but I looked up clips of Chicago high school productions to see how the Richard Gere character was played, or where the Mr. Cellophane, John C. Reilly role was played. It was a blast. So I'm going to make a hard campaign right now, starting today, a year from when we do this again, to do Chicago Mess.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind. Definitely, because I do like watching kids pretend to be adults. That's fun. I hate watching adults pretend to be kids, but I love to watch.
And even better is when they're playing adult criminals.
Right. Yeah.
Who play lawyers and prison wardens and cuckolded husbands, which is a plot point.
Suits and fedoras, the whole thing. And then,
yeah.
And I ask you about the 12 Days of Musical next year. Keep Chicago right at the top.
Oh, speaking of children's playing adults, there's an entire musical they made out of that concept. Do you know about the musical? Well, have you seen Lady Bird?
No, I've seen of it, heard of it.
Okay, nice film. In the middle of it, they cut that she does a high school production of this musical called Merrily We Roll Along. Okay. This is a musical that Stephen Sondheim, the guy who did like all those amazing musicals, he's great. R.I.P. Yeah. Made a musical where he cast young people, like people in their 20s. Jason Alexander was one of them in one of his first roles. Breakout role for him. Cast people in their early 20s to play characters that grow up and become like 40-year-olds.
Oh, cool.
And it was this huge thing where it just didn't work with people because it was like, why would I watch these like young people play adults? But it's more about the And now they're making a film out of it. Right. Richard Linklater, of all people, is involved. Yeah. And he's making it in real time.
Yeah,
he's boyhooding it, which is
really found something that he enjoys.
Yeah, and it gets worse. The people he cast, who are stuck for the next 15 years.
Right.
One of them has already been canceled, but I think he's still involved with the production. Which is And one of them is Ben Platt, who's going through his own transformations.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's a lot harder to do that now. I think when he did it with Boyhood, he wouldn't know what that was.
And also they're children, and you did on the summers, sort of break. But making a musical over 15 years, it will either be a fantastic disaster. At worst case scenario, it's an interesting disaster.
Yeah, it's definitely something worth watching.
That's worth a few $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of that, I was watching Barry Lyndon a couple months ago. He starts off, he's supposed to be like a young man, and then he's like an older dude, but he seems like he's 40 the whole time. Because he's just in his 40s. They don't do a good job of making him seem like a young dude at the beginning. Pretty good.
Okay. Would you like to know? Oh, by the way, I got to tell you who's producing Merrily We Roll Along.
Oh yeah.
Blumhouse. Jason Blum is involved with Merrily We Roll Along, a film adaptation of a failed musical.
I gotta see that.
It stars Blake Jenner.
Oh, okay.
No relation to the Jenner family.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know.
Beanie Feldstein, Jonah Hill's sister, who was in Lady Bird, in Merrily We Roll Along in that movie, which is bizarre. And Ben Platt is the main three because it's mainly a trio.
Right.
And I just had to show you that tidbit about Jason Blum.
Yeah. We'll have to watch it in 15 years.
Yeah. Right after you're done with
musical.
What's the musical that will exist 10 years from now? That's based on existing.
Probably something. to do with other.
You watch Avatar Avatar Mist.
Oh.
The
Water Mist.
The Way of Water Mist. You'll the Avatar musical productions in high schools. They're going to be amazing. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, painted blue.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's in 2 days.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I'm really excited about it.
How about that?
I think.
I really just want to talk about Mamma Mia too. That's where most of my brain power is. But I don't want to spoil anything. Given away, or I don't want to overhype it.
I don't even know what it would be. I guess it's going to be some sort of a Back to the Future 2 kind of situation where they need to help her with some problem. So all of her dads have to come back. That would make sense.
Yeah. Well, they are talking about a Mamma Mia 3, which we do in just a few years from now. So I don't know about you, but I am looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, I did want to mention. I thought it was very funny when they're all up in the attic, and then Meryl Streep, she peeks her head through the little door, and she sees them and recognizes them, and they all kind of morph back into their younger versions. So you see Colin Firth in the leather jacket, Stellan Skarsgård with the big long hippie hair. It's very funny. It's very funny too.
It is very funny.
So
I'm glad you enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, because you like this more than you liked Cats when you were starting out. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. But that's only because the Cats. It took a couple tries to kind of figure out what was going on.
To get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it can go either two ways. It can either just be a fun ride all the way through because you're already on board with it, or you're on board and you're going to be tossed off board as much as possible.
Yeah. I think because it's all going to be more amateurish productions from here on. Except tomorrow is going to be the Hollywood Bowl version of Corbin. After that, it's all high schools.
So tomorrow will be a concert, sort of. Oh, interesting.
I'll be doing that with Mike Brown. But after that,
that's how Mike I say hi.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
It's all going to be more amateurish stuff. So I'm really going to be focusing in on those ones with just like how did they, with a very limited budget, try to do all of these things? Like how are they making boats and jumping off cliffs? Are they doing any of that? Guys swinging on ropes? Is that going to happen? I don't know. Stomping around with flippers on. I think I'm going to write on that tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to ask you: are you still doing an annual Cats watch along? Is that still a thing you're doing?
I just had it.
Oh.
I just had it. The reason why it already happened is I had two friends I was watching a movie with. We didn't like the movie we were watching. It's called Bloodbeat, which is a horror Christmas movie. It's not very good. It's bafflingly bad.
Right.
We got bored of the movie. I was like, what else do you want to watch? And I have the movies with me, and I had Cats as an option. They're like, you know what? We want to watch Cats. And they had never seen it before. And so my yearly tradition is to watch with people who've never seen it before.
Right.
So I had a captive audience of two people who've never seen it. I was like, I got to do it now. Like, screw having an event. Like, I have the perfect situation here.
Yeah.
People who are willing, ready, able, and naive enough to have a good time from it.
They're into it. Then you gotta go for it.
So I did just have my 15th or 16th watch of Cats.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Watch it. Oh, and we'll talk about this offline. But the Cats is coming in June or July, something like that. The summer, the spring.
That's right, because Hamilton is there right now, and Cats will be here in the spring, summer.
Spring, yeah. So we are gonna have to work at a time, because I did tell everyone that did the Cats missed last year, but we'll buy a ticket for us all to go see Cats together.
I am 100% there. As long as I'm on island, I'll find time for it.
What the dates are and work it all out with everybody.
Yeah, I would be thrilled, honestly.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah. Nice.
So I wanted to mention, I think, is that your shirt you're wearing? Is that a Tori Richard shirt?
Nope, this is a Roosevelt shirt.
No,
It's
okay.
just yeah, it's just nice.
Okay. Cool. I thought I bought a similar one for my little brother. I think the same. Similar,
worth asking.
Color scheme. Yeah. So you guys can wear the same shirt to the same event, and you won't be completely matching.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna write out on the a clip of Mamma Mia, the funny guys dance on the pier. We'll be back
my favorite part of the movie.
Second night of the 12 days of Mamma Miamas. Dan, do you have anything else you want to say to the internet before we say goodnight?
Hey, internet, Banshees of Inisherin is on HBO Max right now, and it's an amazing film. Just incredible. If you liked In Bruges at all, this is the same crew, same cast. It is a great time.
Yeah, I saw the preview for that and then forgot about it, but I do want to watch it. So I think I thought this weekend.
Yeah,
cool.
It's good.
All right, let's hit this and good night, everybody. Punks just hang out in the water. I love it. Good. Yeah, they're just panning the camera up and down, saying do whatever you